Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Iron Man Model 1, part of the Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest series of figures, part of the Marvel Legends series of figures. And this one costs a little bit more than normal. We normally see them hover around 25, 26 bucks. This guy was, I think, 28 or 29, something like that. It was a few dollars more than normal. And I guess Hasbro's justification is they had to put some effort into it to make new molds. They certainly can't say it's the paint. Oh wait, there's technically quite a few different paint jobs on here. The little scratches are tampography on this guy, so they have to go in with the machine. The machine does anyway. Yeah, it's a few dollars more, and is it a good figure? Well, there's definitely good stuff about it, no doubt. Is it worth the few dollars? Almost 30 bucks for a 6-inch figure? I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, this guy stands just about, let's say 17.2 centimeters. That's what I'm gonna say. 17 centimeters, 2 millimeters. I'm getting real precise here for estimates. I'm gonna say 6 3/4. It's right around there. So standard Marvel Legend size. I mean, I guess he's got technically a little bit of height to him, you know, just a little bit. So nothing extraordinary. All right, so let's go ahead and do a question of the day real quick. How do you guys feel about the fact that Hasbro's tagging on $2 or $3 on an already overpriced line just because it's a new mold? There's nothing, it's not a bigger figure. I mean, technically there's a little bit more mass, but most of the figures come on bodies like this, so it's not like we're getting it normally. So it kind of balances out there. So what do you guys think about that? To me, I think it's absolutely absurd. Marvel Legends are already ridiculously overpriced for the amount of reuse and the amount of quality, the number of accessories, all of it. So to make a decent figure finally, which it is, technically speaking, on paper, and then charging more for it just because it's not something they can reuse a whole bunch. Like, we'll probably get a gold one and that's it, I'm guessing. I don't get it. I think that's just nuts. It's offensive to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetic. I think the sculpt is perfectly fine. No problem at all with the sculpt. I like it. It's a very basic sculpt. There's not a whole lot you could do to screw this guy up, but I'm sure you could if you really tried. Hasbro seems to have wanted to make this one at least have a good sculpt, so that's good. Or at least whoever sculpted this. I don't know who it was. Super basic though. Like I said, not exactly impressive, just because it's simple. That's fine. It's what it's supposed to be. That's good. Did they do anything to bring it to life? Did they use like silver paint on it to make it actually look like metal, or did they just use the marbly plastic? They did use marbly plastic. I will say it's better than normal. It doesn't have that transparent quality as much. It kind of does here and there. You can kind of see what I'm talking about in this area where it's big and flat. You can see a little bit more marbling in there, and there is a lot less of the marbling. You can see little bits here and there where it's not super obvious. You can see on that left cheek there's some, but then there's some obvious ones too. Weird that those match on the thighs. Is that a paint job? That might be a paint application. I don't think so. Yeah, that's actually a swirl in the plastic. It goes all the way through into the joint, so that's very strange how uniform that is. Unless that's some kind of really dedicated line paint job that goes all the way into the joint. I don't know. Very strange. Anyway, it is very swirly in some spots. You can see some. So I still think silver paint would look way better. This, as far as bare plastic goes, does look nice. Does look nice enough. And the paint job that I was talking about is this. See the little silver lines on there? Normally that would be like dry brushing. On this guy, it's tampography. At least in certain places. I can't say every single place that they did it, it's tampography, because I haven't checked every single one. But it definitely is in some places. And that's all over the figure. So the question here then is that extra step in the process? Because there's lots of these little spots. So is that extra step in the process throughout, that's what I'm guessing is raising the price, worth it? Or would you rather not have such a minimal thing be what you're paying for? For me, I'd rather see a whole lot more silver paint on the figure rather than just these little tiny dry marks, that dry brush type marks that you can't even see from a distance. I don't know. To me, it's just, when you're charging almost $30, you have to give me something to justify it, and I don't think they really have here. So let me know what you guys think. The mold, I think, is pretty great. The paint job is basically not there, and what is there is just whatever. This is painted well enough. The hands don't have any paint on them. They're sculpted there. I'm not that familiar with the Model 1, the Mark 1 Iron Man. Maybe they were never colored like that in the panels. I don't know. I don't remember this thing being colored, frankly. So you guys can let me know if you are more knowledgeable than I am about that. It's just so not impressive for 35 or for almost $30. That's the problem, Hasbro. You can't keep raising prices and expect to do the same thing and make people happy. That's the problem. This would have been a great figure, wonderful figure at $22. That's just the way it goes. All right, so aesthetically speaking, sculpt-wise, 9, maybe higher. Paint-wise, 3. Also, I know there are panels where you can see his eyes, so let me know what you guys think. Would you rather have been able to see his eyes, or do you like the all black? Because they are sculpted in there. Let me know what you think. I'm either way. Okay, as far as accessories go, he does come with the 2 loose hands on him in the package. Then you get the 2 fist hands. Then you get the 2 repulsor blast hands with the smoke effects. I personally don't like these accessories just because it doesn't really make as much sense as they could. And they don't look that good, especially with this black and orange combo. I don't like it personally. It's fine, it's neutral as a review though. They don't peg into the hands anywhere though, by the way. Maybe he never used his hand repulsors in the comics in this suit, I don't know. They do peg into the feet. So accessory-wise, 5 out of 10. It's something. Okay, now for the articulation, the head is on a double ball peg on top of the neck, and the neck is on a ball peg. However, the suit design doesn't really lend itself to really doing anything. So it's technically there, but mostly you're going to be able to rotate it side to side and give it a little bit of attitude, but that's about it. For the shoulders, you get your full rotation. Better than horizontal, so that's good. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbows, if you do them wrong, you're stuck at 90 degrees if you move the top one first. If you move the bottom one first, you get better. So that's good. It is all pinless, by the way. New mold, so why not? Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. And the fact that the hinge works, like I'm guessing he did shoot out of his hand repulsors in this suit, otherwise he wouldn't really have them. And you wouldn't be able to pose that way. But they don't give us a set of hands to receive the blast effect, so that's super lame. Alright, for the torso, it's a ball peg like Dr. Doom. He does lean back a little bit, leans forward a little bit, side to side a little bit. The rotation stretches out the crotch, but it does work. So nothing crazy, but it is there. It does like to bite and stretch. See? It's fighting me. That's kind of a thing, but not a big deal, especially in this suit. Nobody expected him to do any real posing, I'm guessing. I think it's one of the promo images has him doing the superhero landing pose. It doesn't look good. Just don't bother. You're gonna have to get really creative with your photography to make this figure look good in a dynamic pose. Alright, so the legs do go pretty far forward for the bulk. It's not bad. Going back, it's okay. Going out to the side, it's a little bit better than 45. Nothing crazy. It's gonna be good enough for this suit. Thigh swivel is obviously a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees work pretty well. Proportioning is decent, so that's good. No boot swivel hidden anywhere in there. The feet do go all the way back though, and pretty far forward if you give them a little bit of force, and you get your ankle rocker, which is nice and level, so that's nice. So articulation matches the sculpt. It's solid. Whoever built this did a good job. Whoever decided to finish it a certain way is what failed us, which is what I've been saying all along. Like, yeah, sometimes the sculpts are terrible, but that's still on Hasbro for hiring people that don't know what they're doing. Clearly, they do have some people that know what they're doing. This looks good, and if that person cut the joints, he knows what he's doing almost all the way around, or all the way around because he's not the one painting it. If there's 2 people, fine, whatever. You get what I'm saying? It's not usually the people making the actual figures that are the problem. It's the people in charge. And that's what killed this figure. Articulation on this figure for what it is, I'll go 8. It poses pretty well for a bulky amoeba of an Iron Man suit. No problem at all. So yeah, whoever sculpted it, good job. Whoever articulated it, good job. Whoever decided to make it look like this out of bare plastic, like, it's not the worst thing that they've ever made, clearly, but it could have been so much better for the price point. Man, if it was actually silver, like painted silver metallic like Archangel's wings, oh man, that would be a standout on the shelf. I mean, a little bit darker, sure, but you get what I'm saying. This plastic just doesn't look like anything. It's so blah. And it looks better with my harsh lighting than it does in real life. You guys aren't going to have heavy, harsh shadows and hot spots from these studio lights. So, yeah, I don't think I rated the articulate. Did I? think I did. I said it 8? Maybe. I'll go with 8 for articulation if I didn't say anything. If I did, you pick whichever rating is better if they're not the same. Okay, final verdict on this. Whoever designed it didn't fail us as collectors. Whoever is in charge of the line, or whoever made the decision, let's put it that way. Whoever made the decisions, they failed us. At this price point, we need paint. More paint than this. These little fake dry brush marks that you can't even really see, that's just not going to cut it for the price point. So I do personally enjoy the figure, but it could have been so much better for the money. And don't tell me it can't be, because we see it from every other company. NECA's figures are covered in paint, and they only cost marginally more than Hasbro's, sometimes not even more. So I don't want to hear about the paint. I want to hear about licensing. All companies have licensing. All companies have paint. Also, you're selling way more because of that licensing, and you're selling way more because you're Hasbro. So I don't want to hear about all that. It's all excuses that aren't really true. And don't say it's not true and then also say, well, we can't tell you anything because it's bull. All right, so final rating on this figure, 7 out of 10. It looks really good in some ways, in other ways it doesn't, and it costs too much. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.